Hello, welcome back to another video, guys. I know I said this in my last one, but please, if you enjoy these bake-off videos, give this one a like and please subscribe, because it really helps me and it really helps the videos. If you like, give it a little thumbs up. So today is a little bit of a different video. I say that every time, I think, but unfortunately I cannot do many speaking with you videos in the house because Alec's working, the boys are very noisy, and I'm just not finding enough time to be able to do that. So today's Bake With Me video is going to be a little different, and it's going to have the background commentary while you watch me bake, but I am doing something extra special because this is one of my favorite things to eat, and that is hot cross buns. So seeing as Easter is just around the corner, I thought this would be a great one to share with you all. Please watch to the end because you'll hear how I eat my hot cross buns, and this is a very secret family little tradition that I think my mum made. Maybe it was my gran, I don't know, but my mum always did it with us over Easter, and it is so yummy. So please watch to the end, and please let me know in the comments if you try it and do it yourself. It doesn't have to be with homemade hot cross buns, it can be with store-bought, but let me know if you like it. And yeah, I was really pleased with how these turned out, so enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Bake With Me. Today we're baking a favourite Easter dessert of mine, the hot cross bun. Before we get started, here is everything you will need. If you are interested in making these, you'll find the recipe I use in the description box below. So let's get started. First you want to combine the flour, yeast, sugar, and finally the mix of cinnamon, allspice and salt into your bowl. I am making the version using the stand mixer and dough hook, however you will find some variations on this recipe to make them by hand as well. Go ahead and start giving all these dry ingredients a good mix. Meanwhile, make sure you gather all your other ingredients that you're going to use throughout the recipe and bring them to one side. Once it's done mixing, you're going to begin adding all the wet ingredients. Here I'm adding the milk, the egg, the orange zest, the sultanas, although I didn't have enough, so I did use a mix of sultanas and raisins. And finally, the melted butter. You're then going to mix this together on speed 2 for 5 minutes. I added a little extra flour during this time, as ideally you want the sides of the dough to pull away from the bowl. When the 5 minutes is up, this is roughly how it should look. I do take it out of the bowl here just to clearly show you what mine is looking like at this stage. As you can see, it's not sticking to the table or my hands. You're then going to leave your dough and let it prove. So here I put the dough back in the bowl and place plastic around the top. One little trick I did learn from pastry school was to draw a circle on the plastic to outline the size of the dough as you look down at it. This way you can see just how much it's grown over the time that you leave on it when you check back. It's also handy to write the time that you put it down to prove in case you forget. So here is my dough after the first proof. I ended up leaving mine for about an hour and a half, and you can see as I take the plastic off just how much it has grown. You're then going to cut and shape the dough, so here you want to start by lightly flouring a work surface. When you remove the dough, it shouldn't be too sticky, but a little flour will avoid any problems if it is. Next, you want to deflate the dough and shape it into a log. Then by eye, cut the log into 12 equal parts, or at least as equally as you can judge. If you want to be really precise, you can use a scale to weigh the dough and then do the maths to divide equally. Once you have your 12 parts of dough, you're going to roll each piece into a ball and arrange them in a baking tray. Cover the tray with a lightly oiled piece of plastic and leave for 30 to 40 minutes for a second proof. I think I left mine for roughly 40 minutes. After the second proof, they just need the final touch, which is the classic cross that you see on hot cross buns. This is a simple mix of flour and water. Using a piping bag or a Ziploc bag if you don't have one, slowly pipe over the buns. It's key to do this slowly, as if you do it too quickly, you will get gaps in the lines. Then into the oven they go. I think the recipe calls for the oven to be 180 degrees centigrade or 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for 22 minutes, but I think I left mine in for about 30 minutes just to get that golden brown colour. And ta-da! There we have it. Finally, for the final touch, you will brush over the buns whilst they're warm with a mixture of water and syrup or honey or any sugary solution that you have. Here they are, guys. I'm actually very impressed with the way these turned out. Some of the things I will note in case somebody wants to make it, I'm going to put the recipe in the description box below. I will say the recipe was really good. Nothing that I really did I would change at all. The only thing that was slightly different was I baked them for longer than 22 minutes. Like it said, it was probably more like 30 minutes. I just kept looking at the colour until they were this sort of golden brown colour. I'm not really ready to eat one yet, but I think I'm going to just try and break them open so that we can see how they look. I'm trying to think what else was important to note about the recipe. I used the no knead stand mixer recipe and it was really easy and really good. She does recommend putting the bowl, I can't remember if I showed you on the video, but the bowl into the dryer. Run the dryer empty for like 2 minutes to get it warm and then put the bowl in there for it to prove, and I did actually do it and it worked really well. But I did leave the dough a good hour and a half to rise for the first rise and then about 35-40 minutes the second time. Maybe I could have baked them slightly less. I don't know, I think they're pretty good. Maybe slightly less, so maybe, I don't know, because then they wouldn't have been as golden brown. So until I try them, I don't know. But from the feel, I think I could have maybe either mixed it slightly less in the mixer or baked it slightly less time. But I'm very excited. So I'm going to let you all in on the secret traditional thing that we do. And that is, you cut the hot cross bun in half, you lightly spread it with butter, and then you put chocolate inside. I know it sounds so weird, but you have to try it before you judge. And you can't use any chocolate. It has to be, if you're in the UK, it has to be Easter egg chocolate. We can't seem to find Easter eggs in the US, so this is what I recommend using because it is thin like Easter egg chocolate and it has that snap. But you don't want any old chocolate that's like mushy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Ali just popped out to get these, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to tell you. But you need the hard snapping chocolate, thin chocolate, and yeah, you have to try it and let me know, please, in the comments. Let me know. People think it's the weirdest thing until they try it and then they're hooked on it. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else from the recipe that I wanted to let you know. I did warm the milk up and I used a stand mixer with a dough hook level 2 for 5 minutes, and I did add extra flour to stop it sticking to the sides. I think when I showed you in the video and I poured the dough out onto the work surface, you could see that it was like silky and it wasn't sticking to my hands. Pardon me. But yeah, I think I may have just mixed it slightly too long, but that is very hard to judge. So, and that's like the first time I've ever made these, but pretty impressed. So I hope you'll give it a go. If not this year, next year, or just make them later on in the year. But yeah, see you all next time.